You're such an asshole.
Continuing on over here at Asshole Consulting, where if you have questions, Cappy's got answers. Hi, Cappy. Please keep me anonymous. I've followed your content with my father for a while now, and your videos have helped us base our actions in reality. I've just finished 12 years of prison called school. There you go. You named it. Plus 1 year of conscription. So he's in a country where everyone has to serve. Life up until this time has shown me that I really don't fit in with the majority of people, and they do not seek to better their life in a controlled way like I wish to do. The matter in regards to why I am writing you is as follows. I wish to get your point of view on how to go about achieving the goals listed below: financial freedom and traveling the world. My situation: age 20, 25,000 euros in the bank, trade, mechatronics, and you live in a place I'm not going to mention because we keep you anonymous. I'm not afraid of hard work and harsh conditions. I know this because conscription was just that: hard work and difficult conditions. It was cold in the winter. Yes, it is. It is typically cold in the winter. Perhaps you also have some old man wisdom you think I should know. Thank you for the work you have done. Okay, so let's go back to your two goals here. You want financial freedom, you want to travel the world. And that would be done in order, because you should be traveling the world, or it's a lot easier to travel the world when you have financial freedom. Doesn't have to be done that way. Like if you want to, like Joker over at Better Bachelor, he just traveled for 18 months around the globe. Roos traveled 18 months in South America. You're in Europe. That's not a secret. It'd be pretty easy for you to travel just this summer, and you'd see a lot. And you could do it like saving up some money, traveling on the cheap. You could travel the world first, but if your goal is financial freedom, I would put that first, because then traveling the world is not only much easier, you could do it for longer stretches of times, perhaps indefinitely. And if you do it right, you would be able to do it perpetually. Like you wouldn't have to go home because you could work. And a lot of people give him guff, but Matt Forney has pulled that off admirably for 5 to 6 years. People give him a lot of guff, but he's the one visiting places where all of his detractors are still begging for student loan bailouts. So let's first tackle the one about financial freedom. All right. So first, just universal rule. These are just the rules, and this is how you achieve financial freedom. You do not achieve financial freedom by making billions. The number one thing you can do to achieve financial freedom is to need the least amount of money possible, which means minimalism. So you must become a minimalist. Now, I'm not saying wipe your ass with a rag and don't buy toilet paper. I'm not saying some people take it to an extreme. I know some guys who they live in a 6-bedroom house, and they don't have cars, and they take their bike, and that's fine. That's okay. You could save your money. Uh, I'm not against it, but no fancy cars, no McMansions. I don't know if you got those in your country. Um, no going out to eat for fancy dinners. Just you spend less than you make. You know that the most important thing in life is like your father and your experiences and going out, and it's not the freaking stuff. All right. So that's the first thing: is need the least amount of money possible. That low, and most people, now you're European, so maybe you're a little bit different, but Americans, like, it would lower the financial hurdle by 80% because you just piss away money on such stupid crap. And so I would take inventory of all your spending, and maybe you're already there. Maybe you sound like a very wise man. Maybe you and your dad are already there, but I would take inventory of everything you got and say, do we need all this stuff? Let's get rid of our stuff. Do we need, because stuff, the number one cause, the number one expense is lodging. The number one cause of lodging going up is not how many people live in the house. It's all the crap you have that needs to be stored. So get rid of your stuff. Can we get by in one bedroom? Can we live in a van? Do we even need a place? If we're going to go globally traveling, do we even need a place? What if we just van lifed it? All right. So that's your first step. The next thing is don't screw up. Specifically, don't have kids. I'm not saying don't ever have kids, but you want to travel the world, you want financial freedom, don't have kids. And very close related, don't get married. Now, in your country, things might be different. Maybe the women over there don't hate your guts. Maybe the women there are thin and attractive. And maybe at some point in time down the road, you might want to get married. But right now, since you're a younger man, and you got the energy, and it sounds like maybe your dad's divorced, I would, at least for the next 5 to 6 years, don't worry about family right now. Right girl comes along, cool, but no kids, don't get married, but just to achieve financial independence, financial freedom for everyone else tuning in, don't have kids you can't afford. And when you can't afford them, down the road, maybe fine, go have a kid or have a family. But kids are the number one expense, number one cause of poverty. So if you got a bunch of kids running around, now that you not got the money, you don't got the time. You got to raise the kids, unless you're in the United States and then you just ship them off to daycare or the public schools because your career is more important. I'm not picking on you. I'm picking on certain people in the United States. For guys, you want to achieve financial freedom? All right, you achieve financial freedom. Yay. Don't mess it up. I don't know what it's like in your country, but in the West, generally don't get married. You are an absolute fool. That is the number one way men lose their money is you get married. Do not get married. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And then after that, have some kind of employable job so you can make a lot of money to pay your minimal expenses in the least amount of time possible. Now, if we consider your secondary goal there of traveling, all right, you could kill two birds with one stone where you get a remotely employable job. Now, I don't believe mechatronics is a remotely employable job. Had you thought ahead a little bit or knew you wanted to, maybe you would have chosen a different field. But generally speaking, you want a job that you could do from a computer, whether that's accounting, computer science, whatever else, programming, digital marketing like indemandcareers.com with Seth Himes. So for you, maybe you got to go back to school unless you really love mechatronics. Perhaps maybe you're more of the management type. Somehow like, oh no, we just need you to look at PDFs and design. You could do it from up. But generally speaking, having a remote job makes that makes traveling the world a lot easier. And then having a high paying remote job makes financial freedom a lot easier. So maybe you'd have to go back for that. But right now, as you are, right, maybe just work a little bit, save up some money, and go travel with your dad in the early fall of Europe. So for those of you with physically, you have to be there physically, you're tradesmen, engineers, that type of thing. Yeah, you're not going to be a digital nomad. You're going to have to go and work. And then you could do seasonality, we're gone for the summer, that kind of thing. What else? And then financial freedom. Yeah, don't commit crime, obvious things, get a real skill, get a real trade, spend less than you make. There you go. There's your financial freedom. And if you follow those few simple rules, you'll achieve financial freedom. But having the least amount of expenses you need to enjoy life, not having kids you can't afford, and when you can't afford them, just don't get married. I mean, again, might be different in your country, but generally don't get married. You can hang out with a girl. You can have a wife, or you can have a long-term partner, but there's no marriage. You're not signing that document. Having a employable skill that is adequately compensated, and ideally a remote job, and when you want to go do world travel. Now, assuming you cleared that hurdle, you achieved that goal of achieving financial excellence, then yeah, traveling the world should just be pretty easy. But there again, your minimalist principles should carry over to how you travel the world. I think Roos just stayed at hostels and took the bus, did it very cheaply. Better Bachelor camped. All right. When I was in the United States, I just slept in the car and would wash at rest stops or the gym that I would go to. Anything and everything, because you could travel. You could make $100,000 easy. Well, okay, let's not use $100,000. You could travel the world for a year on about $25,000 if you did it really cheap and camped and all this other stuff. Time the seasons, make sure you weren't going when it was expensive, waiting for deals. But you could blow that in 2 days if you want to have a particularly luxurious vacation. So figure out what kind of standard you'd like, what kind of living and accommodations you'd like to have. This is where being remotely employed works great. Being the GF, She's remotely employed. I'm remotely employed. We can go anywhere. And we intend to once I get this. Once I'm done pouring concrete. Oh, the house of always a project. But yeah, I mean, I love where I live in South Dakota, so I don't really have an incentive to leave. But if I was remotely employed and living in a leftist crap hole, I'd be like, oh yeah, Montana, here we go. I get an Airbnb for a month. I get a car, throw all of our stuff in there, laptop it up, let's go, and boom, off to the races you go. Maybe in Europe you take the train a little bit and just get some lodging, stay with friends, couch surf. That's another thing you do, couch surf. If you know friends, they'll let you stay. And you're young enough that most of your friends are still pretty cool. They're not a bunch of 40-plus-year-old dickheads that don't let you stay with them. It's beneath us. No, go spend $1,000 on lodging. It'd be kind of cool to have your old man go with you. That'd be a neat, father-son experience. That'd be really cool. Kind of split some expenses. Hey, eat on the cheap, just get some food at the grocery store. You don't need to go to restaurants. And then and then traveling the world, achieving the goals, you just go and do it. Now, how to save money? Well, time the seasons, go off season. When I went to Europe, I didn't go in summer. I went in fall. It was wonderful. It wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. Of course, I was in Italy, a little warmer down there. It was wonderful. Temperature anyway. I wasn't impressed with the rest of Europe. Don't eat out. Look for deals for flights. Crash at people's places, camp, whatever you got to do. That's what I would do. Not afraid of hard work or harsh conditions. Yeah, so now let's go back to your particular situation. Mechatronics, I guess you got to work physically, right? You got to be there. I would what I would do if you have to physically be at your job, so you're going to have to take vacation time, all right? I would be busting my ass off. Maybe even 2 jobs or a job and a half, saving up my money, living as cheaply as possible. And then if you get a month off in your country, and then I would take my money, I'd go and travel and enjoy. So you're going to have to do it using, old school vacation time. Otherwise, you're working at a physical location and you want to travel. The quickest way to get to world travel, like perpetually, is you're going to have to retire. So you'd have to work up a lot of money. You'd have to pay off your house, or at least find some small lodging to live at and have that paid off so you don't have any big expenses. Save up enough money to retire and all that. So you're only 20. I don't know how wedded or committed you are to mechatronic, and nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Maybe they pay you enough you could work part-time and go travel the rest of the time. But if world travel is like your number one thing, you're young enough, I'd almost make that a priority. And then 2, I'd almost get a degree in accounting or not engineering, software or something like that, where you could go and do the job remotely. And that's it. That's kind of all I got. So yeah, link below is reconnaissance, man, for those Americans who want to go and reconnoiter the United States and how to do it cheaply. And then also link below. Look, guys, it doesn't matter. You can read reconnaissance, man. You can have all these plans. The number one thing is become a minimalist. All right. My minimalist course will be opening later on this month. But linked below, I think, is achieving financial excellence. And there's some overlap. And if you take that course, they give you a little bit of a discount on the minimalism course. But take that achieving financial excellence, because we talk about that. Like, what role does money and finance play in your life? And how is it more so going to play going forward? And yeah, you can work real hard and save up your down payment and buy a house and get yourself the tig old bitty wifey poo with another man's child. Oh, she divorced me too. Where's my money? I never get to travel. Or you can say, no, we're not getting McMansion. No, we're not getting married. And you're going to keep your own damn house and you're going to pay off your own damn student loan. Hey, look, if I don't pay off your student loans, I save myself $50,000. I could travel the world for like 2 years. Y'all make fun. Y'all think I'm joking. Like, don't get married. Don't have kids. I'd say don't have kids, period. But some humans or whatever. But don't have kids and don't get married. You'd be amazed how many problems go away. You'd be amazed how few financial problems go away. I was poor. I was a young adult. Didn't marry, didn't have kids. Still managed to go out and have a little bit of fun in my 20s and 30s. All right, here we go. Hat and clogs for $2 generous. Be a happy Cappy. I am. I got to go to the doctor, though. Dan Hunsaker, part of the 1099 Superior Race. Hey, Cappy, what's your opinion on San Antonio? I've been there. I liked it, but I didn't spend enough time there. Yeah, of course. Everyone likes the river walk. I liked it. I've been through it twice. Nothing great, nothing bad. But I'm not the person that you should be asking. New Braunfels, I don't know where New Braunfels is. You got me. Dan, you're gonna have to go there. You're gonna get boots on the ground, rent a car, and just drive around. I've heard generally nothing but positive things, but one person really didn't like it that much. I guess military town. There's an Air Force base out there. But I'm not I'm not a expert on it. Nick Papa Giorgio, $10 generous. I'm one of the cops who video requested you months ago. What some of us do is work doubles for other guys, rack up the time and dip off for a month. Yeah, there you go. And he might have that opportunity, like if he works at a factory or something. Yeah, you take some holiday shifts or you work doubles and then you bet. But I don't know if that's allowed with a mechatronics degree. Ish Master, man, 20 generous. What's with all the money here, guys? Thanks a lot. Hey, Cap, I'm 33-year single, no kid. Oh, no wonder you could afford the $20. Started trucking in February. I'm currently driving across country, but I'm working on getting endorsements so I can haul fuel and be home daily. I'm interested in the minimalist course. Yeah, just keep Ishmaster, just keep an eye out for it. It'll well, here's what you do. Okay, so go when you get the time, search the Cleary School of Economic Philosophy. All right, that will take you to my Teachable school. They make you name the school. I named it the Cleary School of Economic Philosophy because I'm an egomaniacal jerk. All right, so then you could just register for the school. You're not signing up for any classes. You're just basically setting up an account for Teachable that you'd have to use anyway to enroll. Then when the course is open for enrollment, I send out an email to everyone who registered with the Cleary School of Economic Philosophy. So you'll get a notification with the link, course is open, go ahead and enroll. Otherwise, just wait for my video here. I'll announce it. It'll be, I think, like January 25th to the 30th. I keep it open for about 5 days for enrollment. Just keep an eye out for it. If you're a truck driver, I think it's all video. It's PowerPoint presentation, so you wouldn't be able to watch the PowerPoint, but you would be able to hear it. So you could even tune into it like a podcast if you want. You just wouldn't have the benefit of looking at the the PowerPoint slides. But yeah, that's basically it. And then just email me. You're like, oh hey, you got the link to it? Yeah, here's the link. So if you go to the Cleary School of Economic Philosophy, the link for the course is there. It's just closed for enrollment because I want to make sure people take it seriously. I'm not having it constantly open, but yeah, just keep an eye on it. And thanks for the $20, by the way. That's it. All right, Cappy's off to the dock. Finger up the ass time. See you guys later. Toodles.